Jai Jinendra, Namaste, and hi, everybody. Welcome to Empower You. And before we start our first podcast, let us all take a few seconds and let me pray to God for for letting me do something this beautiful. I'm going to chant three ohms. Om, Om, Om. Gurudev's blessings, my parents' blessings, here we start. I'm the founder of Empower You, a place where everyone will have something to learn and take back for your life. We would like to empower every soul with knowledge, information that can make you stronger and stronger in your life and in your daily routine. So for this podcast, we have the topic, are you living life from the outside in? And I have a wonderful friend, Ellison Jeffrey, over here. He's going to be talking about, are you living life from the outside in? And before we start, I would like to introduce her. I would like to tell all of you how wonderful this soul is and all the achievements she's had. Alison Jeffrey, she's a wise woman. In 3D speak, she's a transformation life coach. Alison earned her BA in psychology and set off on a 30-year corporate career working for various Fortune 100 companies. During that time, she honed her skills in developing and mentoring employees. In 2019, Allison published her Amazon best-selling book, A Woman Guide to Surviving Divorce, and began fulfilling her heartfelt compassion to help the world one woman at a time. Her most recent publication is her story in the book, The Great Awakening, Primordial Soup for the Soul. And I would let her speak more on that later. As a coach, Alison helps women make peace with their past, fall in love with the woman she was born to be, and live a life she loves. She leverages her intuitive gifts to help women move beyond their trauma and drama. Remember who she truly is and take control of herself and her future. Alison is living a dream with the love of her life, and there are five horses. And take your breath on living on a 61 acres deep East Texas. Between them, Allison and Jeff has five grown-up kids and five grandkids. So here we have Allison Jeffries, who's living on a 61-acre land. Hi, Allison.
So,
So, so Allison, thank you for joining this podcast. Thank you for joining my first podcast. And Ellison is my crazy friend. I know her since 5 years, or maybe more than that. I know her since I was like low in life, and she's seen my progress. She's seen my transformation, and to let you all know, she has been a greatest part of my transformational journey. So here we have Alison. Alison, before I start asking you the questions, if you would want to tell something to my audience, to our audience.
oh, thank you, Mital. And I just feel blessed to be here today because we are in an auspicious time in the world. And as women, we have such a responsibility to raise ourselves up, to become the best that we can be, so that we can help the men in our lives, children, people we come in contact with, to help make the world what it is meant to be, a much better place.
Thank you, thank you. And I loved you said, to help even the men in our life. Absolutely. It's a family, men, kids, children, wife, everybody.
Mhm.
The first question would be, why women feel that there should be more?
Oh, this is the question I get so often from women that I talk to. There's that innate little feeling in here, in your heart. There should be more. You may have a beautiful life. You may have everything. And I went through the same thing. There I was, 45 years old, great corporate career, two healthy sons, living with my horses and experiencing life, but on my own at the time. And I had everything a woman could ask for, but yet there was something missing. And first of all, don't say a man, because that wasn't the problem. Men are wonderful and I love them. But as women, we need to find ourselves first. We need to make a relationship with ourselves first before we can ever have a fulfilling relationship with anyone else. And so I had to start that process of going from living life from the outside in and changing it to where I started living from the inside out. And so, what does that silliness mean? It sounds kind of crazy, but it's very, very simple. Women are born to nurture and nourish. It's how we're wired. I know that cultures have changed. I know that society has changed. I know the technology revolution, but in all essence of it, you can't change millions of years of evolution in just 5 generations. So we are women as we have evolved to be, and the way we are wired is different from men. And so as women, nurturing and nourishing, those are things that obviously are focused on the people we love, the people around us. And so what happens to us is we begin to live as a wife, as a mother, as an employee, as a friend, as a daughter, as all these different things, wearing multiple hats. And we find ourselves feeling like there should be more because something's missing in here. Because we prioritize everything and everyone else out there. And when I ask a woman, being in Texas, we talk about it, cowboys and Indians a lot. Where are you on your totem pole? And the totem pole it used to sit outside the teepee, and it was a carved and intricate of the family of the Indian and everything. And I said, where do you sit on your totem pole? And the answer most women gave me is, I'm not even on it. And the reality is, when I spoke to my friend who is a native Indian, American Indian, she said that the thing with the totem pole is the person whose pole it is at the bottom, holding everyone up. And if you have taken yourself out of that place, you have deprived yourself of the joy of being a part of your life. You just become the facilitator of everyone else, and your life is put on a back burner. So when you learn to live from the inside out as opposed to the outside in, when it comes to making a big decision or even a small one, you learn that the first thing to ask is, what do I want? What do I need? And how am I going to, what will make me happy? What adds to my happiness? And when we do that, it doesn't mean we always do what makes me happy, because my favorite example on it is, if I got to buy a new car, what would I want? I would want a Jaguar. I would want a Jaguar. Yes. Can I afford a Jaguar? No, I can't. So it's not possible. So even though I know what I want, I can still choose a different car that's in my price range, knowing that I still want a Jaguar, and it's okay to want a Jaguar. But I'm going to choose to drive this car because it's my next best option. Because unfortunately, when we don't get what we want, we become immune to wanting anymore, because what's the point? I never get what I want, so why should I? And then when we do something other than what we want, we feel like we did what we had to do or what we should do, instead of making a choice that honors who we are, what we want. Doesn't mean we have to do what we want, but we honor what is right for us to do at that time. And if I can't afford a Jaguar and I can afford a Chevy, I will own the decision to have bought a Chevy, and I will love it.
Yeah,
And
very
that's
important.
that's what happens when you start living from the inside out, is you honor yourself in everything first. And then you do what we do as women, we take care of those we love.
Yes, yeah. So it's, I think so, something like love yourself first. If you don't love yourself, you cannot expect others to love you. At the same time, you will not attract people loving you. So put yourself first. Of course, family comes first, we say. But before that, if you are not happy, how are you going to make your family happy? So make
Mhm.
the choices wherein you come first. So yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you so much for this answer. And I'm sure people are going to love these answers and they're going to get something from here. The second would be, how does a person know what decision style to use? Like, we spoke about putting yourself first, but there are times where we have to make decisions. So what decision style should we take, which are the best for at that point of time?
Well, and this is a great question because as women, what we don't realize is that we have a completely different decision-making style than men do. It's not better or worse, they're just
Different.
different.
Yeah.
So for men, we'll describe theirs because it's more straightforward. When a man makes a decision, I want you to picture a rod about 3 feet long. It has a sharp point on one end and it has some feathers on the other, and it's an arrow that you would put in a bow and you would shoot. So when a man needs to make a decision, he looks at, does he need this? Does he have the wherewithal to make it happen? And how can he make it happen? And he'll take that arrow out and he'll shoot it. Well, if he misses the target, it's okay. He can go through that process rapidly again. Think about him as a hunter, gatherer, provider, protector. He can do another arrow immediately until he hits the target. So for a man, it is about making a decision. It's about speed and it's about getting it done. Where for women, when we make a decision, I want you to imagine I hand you a little 4-inch square cardboard box. And when you open it, inside what you see is a round metal cylinder. And as you pull it out, you realize it's not solid and it stretches and it stretches and it stretches. It's a slinky.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all know what slinkies are, and you put them in your hands and they can walk up and down steps. And the thing about slinkies is they do this for 85 feet. I know stuff. I watch the History Channel. They are
Yeah.
85 feet long.
Wow, I was not knowing that.
Yes, they
Okay.
are 85 feet long.
5 feet, they can go.
So I
Wow.
hope you get where I'm going with this female
Yeah.
decision making style. Because when we need to make a decision, instead of it being a straight arrow shot, first we have to say, okay, so is this really a need? Do I really need to make this decision? Is this important? Yes, it's important. So who all is it important to? Well, it's important to me and it's important to my husband. It's important to my mom. It's important to my family. It's important to my children. It's important to my job. Okay, so this is important. So I really have to make a decision. We haven't even made the decision yet. And I'm worn out. Okay, I am worn out. Because for women, think about who we are. We nurture and we nourish. We provide and take care of our families. And if we fail at that, what happens? People suffer. And we have to watch them suffer. So we go through this convoluted decision-making style that takes into account every person this decision touches, every ramification that might hurt or help every person it touches. And in the end, because we've now done this for 85 feet, we attempt to make the perfect decision. Now, I don't know about you ladies, and I know about you, Mital. There are times in life where there is no perfect decision, correct?
Yes, yes. Even it's like sometimes it's hit and miss.
Mm-hmm. And you just have to say what's the best thing to do, but we don't want to do that because as a woman, we know the ramifications
So we want to be perfect every time.
every time. So, and I love to ask women, what's the difference, here between these two decision-making styles? Have you ever been at work doing what you do, making decisions, signing off on things? Yes, we do it this way. Yes, we do it that way. And we're going to get it done. And then you come home from work and you've had a good day and everything's good. And you walk in the door and someone stops you and says, Mommy, what's for dinner? And you completely melt down.
Yes.
It's because
So very- question.
Has that happened to you, Mita?
Yeah, it's a very common question. What to make? What lunch, dinner? And then, it's like keeps going, what do you want? What do you want?
Perfect example of the two decision-making styles. When we're at work, which is a male-dominant entity, all corporations that were designed by men and they're wrapped around men and how they think and do, we learn and we accomplish making decisions in a male style because that's what we have to do in the business world.
Mhm.
Okay. And we're very good at it. But when we come home and it's a personal decision, and we have to shift over into that female decision making process, which is more complicated, it's a struggle. So when you're making a decision, the thing to do is, first of all, ask yourself this: will I even remember making this decision 30 years from now? And if the answer is no,
No.
we're going with the arrow method. How do I get this done? Like I
Shoot.
do at work. Boom. And if it isn't right, we can shoot another one. Okay. If I will remember making this decision 30 years from now, or I like to vision myself 90 years old sitting on my front porch looking back on this moment, what will I wish I had done? What will make me proud of this moment? And in that, I escape and bypass all of this because I'm looking at it from my higher self, looking back, and my heart will tell me what's right to do. And my grandmother actually taught me this back when I was in my 30s,
Wow.
and I use it all the time. And I now, as a woman, can make decisions as a woman and find the perfect decision.
Right. So what I understand is like, two kind of decision style. One is wherein you're not going to remember like, what decision you took and what is the outcome. So
Mhm.
just kind of go with the flow, go for it. And there are some important decisions where it's going to make a big impact in your life.
Mhm.
You kind of going to think about it 20, 30, 30 years down the line. So in that, you kind of put yourself first and then make a decision. So you kind of make a conscious decision and not make a conscious decision every time, because sometimes it's just like shoot the arrow, and then if it hits the
What's
target,
for
great.
dinner?
If not, yeah.
Mhm.
If it not, go ahead, go again. Thank you so much. The two styles you explained to us. Thank you so much. And the other is, what if you don't know how to deal with a situation? So situation could be more so we would be I would be targeting is situation at home. There are situations at work also, but as you mentioned, it's a corporate world, and there are certain stylos always there wherein we could kind of embark on those decisions. But in life, in family, at home, if I don't know how to deal with a situation, how do I embark on it, or how do I navigate through that situation?
Well, first, just knowing the two decision-making styles will help you. Is this something that I will remember 30 years from now or not? That's easy. If the answer is no, what's for dinner? Hey, what have I got that I can cook in 30 minutes? We're done, and I cook it. Okay. If it's not, then we have to look at, what do I want? What does everybody else need? What will be the decision that meets the needs that I find are the most important right now? So maybe a friend calls and invites me to go out, to a movie with her, but it's the day of my child's senior prom. Now, of course, I might want to go to the movie with my friend if I were just thinking about myself, but it's my child's senior prom. What am I going to do? My child would be devastated if I was not there to see her out the door and see the dress and all of that. So I'm going to make the decision that honors me as myself, knowing that, yeah, I'd have loved to go to the movie, but it'd be easy for me to say, no, I can't go. I have something else more important. And I'm going to be here for my child. So it's about knowing who you are, knowing what's important to you, and just knowing that tomorrow's not guaranteed. Today is the only day we have. What's going to make today special? And what works today? Because when we make big decisions, we worry about what happened in the past and we worry about what may happen in the future, and we can't control any of those because they don't exist. Only right here, right now. And when we focus on right here, right now, and what's important, we can weed out all the little things that don't matter and just get down to the important stuff.
Right. Basically, prioritizing, like, what's
Mhm.
important, and prioritizing according to what you feel is the best, not what the world wants, or what was yesterday, or what is going to be tomorrow.
Mhm.
Okay. So, and before we end, I have few rapid fire questions for you. And then those answers can be something related to our topic, or it could be just a worldly answers, also fine. So, what is one piece of advice you would give to our audience? One piece of advice.
It's the one piece of advice I give to everyone anytime they ask for my advice. Be yourself.
Very
We go
important.
we go through life trying to be what everybody else wants us to be, and that's why we always wonder, why aren't I happy? Why don't I feel fulfilled? Why don't I feel satisfied? Because we're always worrying about everybody else and we're acting in ways that maybe we wouldn't normally act. But when we are ourselves and we honor ourselves, everything else just seems to work.
Yeah. So, like, stop living outside, start living inside in.
Mhm. Mhm.
What is a gift you would give to a soul who is going through some kind of struggle? Like, let me put it this way. What gift a soul should give himself or herself when he or she is going through some struggles?
To grant yourself grace.
Sorry, if you could come back again.
Grant yourself grace.
Grant
Another way
yourself
to say that would
grace.
be compassion. Okay. It is to grant yourself the grace that you are human, you're fallible, you make mistakes. It happens. It's okay.
So important. It's like, many times what we do is we try to kind of talk negative for ourselves, and we said, like, we kind of belittle ourselves.
Hmm.
But you said
Kind of.
compassion, yeah, it's so important too. And when it comes to others, we always give compassion to them, but we never think about giving compassion to ourselves when in need, when we are during struggles, or issues or problems. So very important, yes, giving compassion to ourselves, and not just keep on, spreading compassion. First, have
Hmm.
compassion for yourselves.
Hmm.
Great. The third one is, what is a book or an app or resource you would recommend to our audience during any issues they're going through, or if what they can help them to live inside out and not living outside in?
Well, and you teed up my answer beautifully with what you just said about us talking badly to ourselves. The book I
Yes.
would recommend is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz.
The Four Agreements.
The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It shares ancient Toltec knowledge that they used and how to quiet the mind and learn to speak to yourself more kindly and gently and honestly, quite frankly.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this answer. And two questions. One is, one characteristics you would like to talk about me.
Oh, that's easy. Mital, I have to say, I've been through so much with you because you've been through so much in the last few years. And of all the women that I've known, and myself even, that went through this, there was never a moment when you lost your composure. There was never a moment when the smile faded from your face. You took everything in stride. You did your best, and you just kept going. And having that kind of a personality where you are that strong and that resilient, you just shine like a light bulb, a 100-watt
Thank
light
you
bulb.
so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. This question was more for me to know what you feel. I've never asked you this question in these so many years. I've never asked you that. This was for me. And before we end, if you would want to show us your book, you just showed me the book before we started the podcast. The new book which has come up, The Awakening. If you want to show it to our audience, and if they would like to go for it, they would like to buy it, if they would want to read it through the library.
Okay. One thing that I would just say is that I always look at life, and when people say how do you do it? And I say I couldn't make it a day without God. I just could not make a day without God. And I was blessed to be in a group where they decided to do one of those compendium books where everybody wrote a chapter. And
Mm.
those that wanted to do it, we were asked to write our spiritual awakening story. And so this book is a compilation of people from around the world. We have people from America, Canada, Norway, India, you name it. We've got people all over the place, different religions, different faiths, different beliefs. And we talked about how we came to that place where we understood God. And so the book is called The Great Awakening, Primordial Soup for the Soul, and it's on Amazon. And I just wrote one chapter in it, but it is just for me, for anyone who's struggling to find their path, because we each are here with a purpose. And when you're struggling to find your path, sometimes being able to hear how others found theirs might help. So I'm very, very proud of this book. And it just came out this week.
Oh, wow, that's good. I love the cover page. I love the cover page. It's so soulful, it's so spiritual, it's so peaceful to see that.
Mhm.
So thank you. Thank you so much, Alessandra. It's wonderful talking to you. And we're going to have you more in the near future. And to all my audiences, thank you so much for watching this podcast and share your love. Give me feedback, positive, not so positive, and I will try to improve. Thank you so much. Namaste, Jai Jinendra, and bye to everybody. Thank you. Bye.